absolutely delightful. He's a keeper, isn't he? Yeah, I love him. We keep him in a cage. So anyway, I'm gonna bring up your next performer. He is not just an amazing comedian, he's also a very good friend of mine. We want to tell like a little bit of story about like the first time that we really hung out. Please give a warm welcome for Mike Bobbit, everybody.
I love you, big old son.
I love you. Charmin Bear piloting a man suit.
But I've never been so in love with you.
It's so true, though. You're like this adorable, like. So good. So anyway, the first time that we really hung out, we were playing a D&D game. You guys
I know. Look at us, right?
I know. Who think
really? Those guys play Dungeons and Dragons?
We did. But it was like the first time that I had DM'd, which is slang for dungeon mastering, in a really fucking long time. And I was really insecure about it. So we had Mike, and we had a few other comedian friends come over. All comedians. We had Riley Silverman.
Who's transgender, which is very important to the story, because we had a very...
not trans-friendly person, I guess we'd say.
But not trans-unfriendly.
Not trans-unfriendly, just really insensitive.
Yeah. So like the whole time, we're all referring to Riley as. So anyway, we asked her if she wants to use her sword to do this, and then this other person just like, well, what's his deal over there? And we're like, what the fuck, man?
Just stop saying it.
Well, is he gonna roll his dice or what? You ask him if he's gonna roll his. Why is he crying? It's like, why are you? We're all referring to her as her, and like in our head, we're thinking maybe he just thinks that we're all dicks.
Well, the worst part was like this particular person. Well, we were like the very first thing. If you've ever played D&D, the first thing that you do is you end up in a tavern and you hang out and you meet your party. And we had a barkeep. Just an NPC barkeep hanging out, being like, "How much for beer?"
Literally the first character we meet, and Mr. Can't deal with 2016 and non-normative issues is like, "What's the deal with the barkeep, man?"
And I'm just like, I don't know. He's a barkeep.
What do you mean he's just a barkeep? Like, does he have like? Is he charging us extra?
I mean, I don't know. I think he's.
No, I want to roll for perception to see if he's charging.
He's charging you full price.
Well, then I fucking kill him.
Well,
I rolled to kill him.
Are you serious? Well, now you're killing out of people, dude.
It's like a 4-hour campaign just to order drinks at a pretend bar.
Punchline, he murdered the pretend bartender and robbed him, okay?
My favorite part of that was, Kyle didn't talk about it tonight, but he has a hairless cat.
Yes.
Who is amazing. And we're playing the game.
Not. It's it's fucking a goblin. It's the worst.
He's so fucking wrong. He's so wrong. It is a goblin, but that is so
monster.
Wrong. So we're playing...
Testicle with nails.
That's true too. And ears.
Yeah. Let's not forget the ears.
Your cat does look less like a cat and more like a guar prop.
That is the perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
I think your cat has hung off of Odorous Urungus's crotch.
He was.
At one point.
He just cut him off on one show.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So after we killed every barkeep and carriage driver in the whole make-believe town, we finally get to a dungeon, and everyone there is smoking weed except for me because I'm from the Midwest and super square. And Kyle goes, "You open this door," and all of a sudden a goblin pops out right as his cat runs into the room, freaking out all the other comics like, "Oh my God, you really are a magician."
It's the one time I've ever been grateful for having that goddamn cat. All right. Anyway, you guys have been wonderful. I'm going to let Mike Bobbit take the stage.
Yay, Kyle Shire! Hey, Cobra, thanks for coming out. This is exciting, right? I did the worst show I've done in a long time. I did a secret show at like a speakeasy for pot smokers, and no one showed up. And I'm like, if you're doing a secret show and no one arrives, you've done a great job of keeping that shit secret. The only people who ever ask if you can keep a secret are people who cannot keep secrets. Have you ever noticed that? Like, someone's like, "Hey, can you keep a secret?" I answer honestly. I'm like, probably better than you. Just lay it on me. I love being at the show. This is such a cool variety show. Like, I literally live on the other side of the parking lot here, and like this is the show that I come to all the time. And I love it's just crazy and weird, and it's Hollywood. Like, that's so cool. Like, I've lived here for 3 years now, and I've learned a lot about myself since living here. I'm from Michigan, and I was waiting. Did you hear me pause for that for a second? Like, there has to be someone else, right? That place sucks. So, I've learned that I'm not homophobic, but I'm homophobic-phobic. Like, I'm so scared of looking homophobic that sometimes I end up in super gay situations. I lived here for 1 week before I ended up on a date with another guy. And because I didn't want to look intolerant, I stayed on the date. Like, I saw it through to the end. Not like the end. Like, I'm not writing a letter to Dan Savage, like, I'm about to get married, and I don't know how to tell him. That's not gay. Yours truly, backdoor virgin. I don't know. Like, and here's the thing, like, I've been on dates with guys before. It's happened, I don't know why I give off a particular gay vibe. If I had any guesses, it's because of how flamboyant my left hand is. Like, believe me, I know what this guy's doing back there. Like, he waves to people like that all the time. Like, I don't think any of us are 100% gay or 100% straight. I think we're all somewhere on the Kinsey, like, look at this guy. Like, swishing back and forth like the gayest rudder on the gayest love boat ever. Like, I'm mostly straight, but my left hand super fucking gay. Like, and I've learned to deal with being a mostly straight guy with a super gay left hand. Like, if I go to the movies and I have to use a urinal, then I use the leftmost one. Because if this guy makes a friend and I'm in there way too long, I'm like, we have to get back and see the end of Captain America's Civil War to find out if he and Winter Soldier make out or what. Which, by the way, the gayest movie I've seen in a long time. So here's the thing, I'm on this date with this guy, and like I know right from the get-go I'm on a date because we go to the bar, we go to the public house right around the corner, and we go in and he plops down $20. He's like, I'm gonna hit the head, give me a beer. And I was like, well, what do you like? And he winks at me, he's like, I like anything pale. And I was like, oh, okay. Ooh, I'm kind of pale. And he gently caressed my elbow. Like, let me stand up for a second. Let me do, like, isn't this like a weird feeling? Like, I'm basically a stranger. Yeah, it's like your cheeks turn like instantly red, like, and you have dimples that you did not have earlier. Like, I was telling the story in Canada where like the only person in the front row to demonstrate on was like a Nazi skinhead. Like, I assume a Nazi, like, based on his tattoos. Maybe I have Star Wars tattoos. It doesn't mean I'm a Jedi. It just maybe he was just a big fan of American History X. I don't know. But like I did that, and instead of going, I'm gonna curb stomp you, he's like, ooh, stop. Like, it was like I disarmed a Nazi skinhead. It was so I called my buddy, like this guy that I was on a date with was from North Carolina, and I called my buddy from Georgia. I was like, hey, I'm hanging out with this dude, and he gently caressed my elbow and winked at me. Is that like a Southern gentleman thing, or what? He's like, no, you're on a date, and you're the lady, so order top shelf. Did you know they make a Johnny Walker Blue? It goes down smooth. It goes down smooth. I don't go down smooth. I don't know. Maybe. I think if I went down, I would like fight it the whole way. Like, no! Like, we're hanging, and I gotta be honest, it's one of the best dates I've ever had in my entire life. Like, we're hanging out at the bar, and every time I said something he thought was funny, he was patting me on the knee, and because I didn't want to look homophobic, I didn't stop him, so the next time I said something funny, he'd pat me up a little bit higher, and a little bit higher, and let's just say he found me very funny. And the comedian in me, was just like, yeah, this is the thing. But the decent person in me is like, Mike, don't be a dick tease. You're never gonna put out at the end of the night. And I ended up dating him for a week because I didn't want to look closed-minded. And eventually, a week later, he called me up. He's like, can you talk now? And I was like, no, I'm in the grocery store buying kitty litter. He's like, lose my number. I got dumped by a guy I didn't want to date in the first place. So sad. I do have a girlfriend. She's super amazing. She's incredibly beautiful. If you saw us together, you would think my career is a lot further along than it is. Like, that guy has a TV show, and I do. It's just saved in Final Draft on my computer at home. That's a joke that's going to crush it in Wisconsin, I bet. That's a scary, like, I legitimately moved out here thinking everyone moves to Hollywood to be an actor, no one moves there to be a writer. Like, everyone. It's like I've never been to to a Starbucks before. Like the person right outside pushing their shopping cart full of their everything probably has a screenplay too, and it's probably not that bad. My girl, like I do really, I'm a really good boyfriend. Like we went to CatCon earlier this year. If you guys don't know, it's like Comic-Con, but for lonely ladies. And I was being snarky, and I tweeted like, if the weird ladies from CatCon hooked up with the weird dudes from Comic-Con, we could have a whole generation of autistic weirdos. And someone got mad at me and tweeted back like, oh, or you could be a lady like me and like both of them. And she was right. Like I was just being a dick, and instead of like fighting her on it, like, well, I'm at CatCon and mostly there's women here. And I was just like, you're right. I apologize. That was insensitive because I wanted to be nice because the internet is like the meanest place in the world. And I was like, I'm gonna try to change it by myself. Like, you can look at the cutest cat video on YouTube. If you scroll through the comments far enough, someone's eventually going to call that cat the N-word. Like, the internet is the shittiest place. I debated on that too. Like, do I say the N-word or do I say N-word, like, in that bit? And, like, I did an urban play when I moved here where I was, like, the only white guy, and I was, like, going through the script, like, please, God, don't let me say the N-word in it. And I didn't, and I told the director, I was like, oh, I'm so happy I don't have to say the N-word. And he's like, oh, no, man, you got my permission. You're cool. And I was like, I don't need that permission. I don't know what kind of pin comes with that, but I do not want to wear it. My favorite thing of CatCon, and I'll leave you guys on this, is I saw a furry. And like my writing partner and I wrote a screenplay about furries. If anyone's a producer and wants to produce it, it's really fucking amazing. It's Some Like It Hot in a furry convention. It's super good. So please, someone buy it. So I did a lot of research on furries, and some of the furry costumes can cost upwards of $40,000. This was a really good one. If you guys don't know, furries are the ones who dress up in mascot animal costumes to, you know, yiff, which is their term for with other furries, which I don't know how it works exactly. I was looking for a zipper, I didn't see it. And I don't know anything that costs $40,000, but if I did, there's no way I'm letting anyone come on it. Fuck that. If I went to FurCon and I met like the cutest red panda in the world, we could go to my hotel room, but I'm taking off the $40,000 cat costume and putting on a clearance November 1st Chewbacca costume. Spackle away, motherfuckers. Guys, thanks for coming out to Cobra Juice. I really love this show a lot. It was so much fun.